Hello, welcome to this episode of Pump the Brakes. I'm Eric, not technically alongside Blake, but alongside Blake. Today's episode, we are going to preview the Thursday night games. In case you cannot tell, it is game day. Um, actually, you should be wearing an LSU shirt. That just hit me. You're going to get roasted.
Yeah, well, that is true. I thought about just going shirtless, but I was at South Plains and I was going to do it from my house, and then shout out South Plains, shout out Joel. I was like, "Can I just do it up there?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." So, that's all me.
Just wanted to get that out of the way.
Promises made, promises broken.
Yeah, it happens.
We're
going to talk.
Just one quick tidbit.
Please.
Men who wear jerseys, I'm not for it.
Yeah, not my favorite thing. I haven't bought a jersey in
You have one on?
a decade. Oh, it's a Donovan McNabb jersey. I've had this since high school.
I'm not. I don't think grown men should wear jerseys, but go ahead.
It's game day. I don't necessarily disagree. I don't disagree.
Fair enough.
We got our pick fives, which do you want to talk about last week? No, we'll just move on.
What's there to talk about?
No, not much. Hey, free fades. If you faded,
3-7, baby. 3-7. Let's go. Only up from here.
Yeah. We'll do a little tiny recap on some of the big things that happened last week. And actually, I just want to jump right into that. Mm-hmm. This Aaron Rodgers injury is almost as painful to me as the J.K. Dobbins injury. The J.K. one just absolutely ruined my Sunday.
Yeah,
it just put me in an absolute shit mood the whole time, as well as the Steelers getting their teeth kicked in. But dude, I wanted to watch Aaron Rodgers in New York so fucking badly. Right. Like, I know you have the Mahomes infatuation, as you should, but I think Aaron Rodgers is the greatest player that's ever played in the NFL. And I really hope this isn't it for him. Yeah, I also want to say, these people that think Zach Wilson is so terrible, but let's go bring in Joe Flacco or Nick Foles to save the season. Like, nobody out there is going to save the Jets. The season's fucking done. They're done.
Yeah, just the J.K. Dobbins thing hurt so bad. Just from a fantasy DFS perspective, because he would have had 3 touchdowns if he'd have been in the game. Justice Hill scores 2. Those are J.K. Dobbins. So that is pain. Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, the Jets are done. I come out looking. Nobody will ever take my take seriously that the Jets weren't going to be as good as everybody was expecting, before. The Jets are done. There's no guy you're going to sign off the street. From what I've read and from what I understand, obviously I don't know, of course not. But the reports coming out of Denver last year was the reason the offense was so bad is because Nathaniel Hackett's offensive scheme is so complicated. It's a very pro-style, complicated offense. Rodgers makes it look good because he and Rodgers worked together for forever in Green Bay, right? I mean, they were there 5-6 years together. They mid-game all of a sudden had to change the offense up for Zach Wilson, who is not a pro-style quarterback, who's not a good quarterback. And like you said, there's no guy off the street that's going to come in and learn this system and run it. They're done. It's over. So that sucks. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers runs out, American flag, Guns N' Roses. It was awesome, and then it was over.
Yeah, I also want to say, I know the players complain about the turf in that stadium, and we've seen numerous injuries. But like, JK had the same injury on grass. Like, I
don't think they overblow it. The way the guy fell on him was more it had anything to do with the grass,
Yeah, I don't know. But
Rodgers, by the way, was already having calf problems, so it was over. It was it started and it was over. It's like when you have sex for the first time, you get it in there and it's over. That's the Aaron Rodgers reign in New York.
Yeah.
He got it, and he boom done. Hope he pulled out. I don't know.
I don't think he's gonna retire. That
No,
tweet that he
I don't either.
said. I would hate to see him go out this way.
He is.
Sucks for the Jets.
He is old. He's old.
Yeah.
That's a tough injury to come back from.
God,
that's a tough one to come back from.
Probably the hardest one now, like realistically.
Yes. True. Agreed. They're not just growing Achilles like they are ACLs.
No, not now.
So
I want to get into obviously the Vikings at the Eagles. The Eagles are 6.5-point favorites now. The over/under is 48.5. Eagles coming off, and I don't want to say an ugly win, but it was kind of an ugly win. Offense wasn't great, although the Patriots' defense is really fucking good, and it was at New England. Vikings lose to the Bucs at home, and it seems everything, trend-wise at least, is saying take the Vikings.
Yeah, I won't even try to read the mouthful of trends that I sent you earlier. We'll need a 3-hour podcast for that, but I like the Vikings. I think Vikings win last week against the Bucs. This is probably like a 3.5, 4-point line. Just typical overreaction from week 1 to week 2. I like the over. I think this game's going to be a shootout. I think it can get into a high-scoring game, 2 good offenses. So that's really, if I had to pick one play, I would pick the over. But I do like the Vikings.
Yeah, I agree. I guess technically the starting running back for the Eagles, Kenneth Gainwell, he's out. James Bradbury and Reed Blankenship, 2 starting defensive backs, are out. That's a problem. Kirk Cousins over, whatever. I love it.
Oh, you said 262.5.
Yeah, that's what I saw on FanDuel. I would take the alternate ones like up to 300, maybe more. I do think the Eagles win. I don't know if they're going to cover a touchdown, essentially.
Yeah.
But I do think it is going to be a high-scoring game, and I think Jefferson goes nuts. Although Slay should cover him. I do like Addison in this game.
To be fair, I did say before the season I look for the Vikings to take a step back this year.
Yeah.
When you go 11-0 or whatever it was in 1-score games, it's unprecedented. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, and then you throw up a stinker against the Bucs. You're not supposed to lose that game. Like if you're
but it wasn't a stinker. They turned the ball over like 4 times. That's
a problem.
It's a problem, but that is correctable problems. If you're just out there not executing, not fucking scoring, not putting yourself in that position, that's a problem. If you're out there and you got 4 turnovers, we can fix that.
Yeah, I guess.
But in full disclosure, I don't like I think the Vikings are going to miss the playoffs this year.
But you think on a short week they're going to Philly and going to win the game?
Even if they win this game, I still think they're going to miss the playoffs. It's the NFL. Like the Texans could beat the Chiefs. Like the NFL is unlike any other beast. It sans maybe baseball where they play 497 games a year, but
they only play 162.
No, it's like 487, but. It's football. Anything can happen. It's football. Are we going to talk at all about last week? Or we just what?
I really just you didn't want to, so I just wanted to talk about.
I wanted to kind of touch on the. Yeah, I wanted to kind of touch on the Bills Jets a little bit, just because I want to talk about the Bills.
All right. Well, let's finish this game. We'll do
fair enough.
The commercial, and then we'll go back. You want to know my favorite bet for tonight?
I'd love to hear it.
It's a layup. The freest of free.
Okay.
Dallas Goedert, first touchdown. We're back.
Okay.
We got a tight end.
R.I.P. Dallas Goedert. You just tore both your ACLs. Sorry, Dallas.
He had one game where he's had 0 catches for 0 yards and 0 touchdowns before last week, so now he's had 2. The following week, he had the best game of his career, 105 yards, 2 tutties.
Okay.
Dallas Goedert, first touchdown. Tight ends in prime time, they thrive. We're going to start.
Did he get the kiss of death that time? Because he just got the kiss of death. The Grim Reaper just showed up and said, "Let me in."
Do you know how remarkable it is I broke Christian McCaffrey's leg when we were in Biloxi 2 years ago.
I remember it vividly.
It never ends. J.K. Dobbins last Sunday. So, yeah.
What's funny about the whole J.K. Dobbins thing is Jameson, our friend Jameson, was like, by the way, Jameson's played professional athletics at a much higher level than any of us have dreamed of. It was like, man, he sure is walking gingerly. And I was like, oh, fuck you. And then find out his Achilles is torn.
Oh, man.
Oh, God bless. Should try to trade him mid-game.
Have you ever played in a fantasy football league that changes the scoring mid-season?
No, Jameson Fisher is I'm trying to think of a world leader. He's like a Emmanuel Markel in France. It just changes as it goes. He changes the rules mid-year. Whatever benefits Jameson, that's what we go with. And by the way, then he puts this other guy in the league. It just as patsy, I offered this guy a great trade. If I came to you, okay, let's get off topic for a second. And I said, Eric Evans, PPR, Isaiah Pacheco for Brian Robinson. That's worthy of at least a counter. Maybe it's even a bad trade by me.
I would rather have Pacheco.
That's what I'm saying. Try to do the league a favor, try to do a little competitive balance, but whatever. We had a guy at fucking Justice Hill for $199. We only get $200 on the whole year, so that's where this league is.
Oh,
$199 out of $200 for Justice Hill.
We're way off topic. Yeah, you're right. All right, I'm gonna go through a couple quick injuries just to kind of get to the midway point. We'll do the backroads read, and if you want to discuss things from last week, we'll do that.
Okay.
I already mentioned the Eagles' injuries: Gainwell, Bradbury, Blankenship out for tonight. That is a problem. It doesn't appear that Austin Eckler is going to play with his ankle injury. I don't know if you saw us. He's been on a couple podcasts this week talking about fantasy football.
His own podcast.
That's awesome. Well, I saw the one. What? Go ahead.
But did you see that link? That one I sent you?
No.
I thought, I sent it in that chat, in that group chat. The fantasy chat.
Which one? We're in 32.
That's true.
I don't know.
It was his own podcast, which is, by the way, pretty cool.
Oh, my God, yeah. So I saw him on the CBS podcast with Jamie Eisenberg.
Okay.
And he was saying about how impressive Joshua Kelly is, and you should add him no matter what, like regardless if he plays or not. Shout out, have Joshua Kelly in a lot of leagues. But it doesn't look like he's going to play. But Eckler is like just a down-to-earth dude that just happens to be like the second best running back in football.
He's 100% got a career in broadcasting.
For sure. Anthony Richardson, not on the injury report this week. That is fantastic news. Colts are an underdog at the Texans. I will touch on that later. Brandon Cooks is dealing with a sprained MCL. Anything that has a CL in it and it hurts, that is not a good sign.
Great.
And Deontay Johnson's hamstring, he's expected to miss a couple weeks, although he has come out and said that he's day-to-day. Never, ever, ever trust the athlete when it comes to injuries because they lie all the time.
Yeah.
We will do more of that on Sunday when it comes closer to game time. We are going to take a quick little break. We are going to talk a little bit of last week. I don't have much to say because everything sucked. And then we'll do our pick fives.
Want to hang around for that.
Today's episode is brought to you by the premier clothing brand choice for any outdoor enthusiast, Backroads Apparel. Whether you chase the migration, live life at full draw, or just enjoy going to the camp to crack cold ones with friends and family, Backroads has a design that fits your lifestyle. Represent the brand that prides themselves on being authentic and original. Head over to backroadsapparel.com and grab your gear today. Be sure to use promo code PTB during checkout to receive 10% off of your entire order. Again, that's backroadsapparel.com, promo code PTB.
All right. You wanted to talk about the Monday night game last week? Floor is yours.
I just want to talk about just a quick recap of last week, kind of like a cowherd steal, where I was right, where I was wrong. I wrote this down. So I'll talk about. Should I talk about the things I was wrong about first? Like,
Yeah.
as we were collectively dead. Okay, Steelers, dead wrong. However, I would like to say I'm more like 60% wrong because I did say until they got rid of Matt Canada, they're not ready to take the next step forward.
That's fair. Can I piggyback off that?
You loved them. I said, do what?
Can I piggyback off that when you're done with this Steelers stuff?
Yeah, go.
Yeah, that hurt. Bad.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, every time I saw a highlight from that game, a Steeler was slipping and falling on the grass. Like they just could not stand up.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just who Brock Purdy is. 220 yards, 2 touchdowns every week. Not going to win you a game. Damn sure is not going to lose you a game.
Not gonna. That's what I was trying to tell you.
How
is he going to get benched? He's never going to do anything to, okay, where I was wrong, number 2. Not really a big deal, Broncos. I don't think we were like, I mean, we weren't expecting great things out of the Broncos.
No.
Now, where I was personally super wrong, and Jesus Christ was I wrong, the Seahawks. What happened to the Seahawks?
Well, 2 of their defensive backs were out. That's not good. I would like to say I'm a fucking coward because I loved the Rams. All leading up to this, Matt Stafford is fucking back. A healthy Matt Stafford is an elite quarterback in the NFL. He is good, dude. They're going over the win total. I don't care. They're not going to make the playoffs, but they're so much better than 6.5. Like that's
okay.
Fucking.
Let me ask you this. New York Jets. What do you offer for Stafford?
They don't have any resources. They traded it all for Aaron Rodgers. They don't have anything. They don't. What are they going to do? It's not the NBA. Hey, here's a 2029 pick swap. They can't fucking do that.
Yeah, but I mean, Stafford's not going for a first or anything. Like, what if they came to the Rams and said, "Here's a third"?
No way.
You just said the Rams aren't making the playoffs. I mean, if you're the Rams, why not take it?
Just because that doesn't mean they don't think they can make the playoffs.
I think they know that they probably can.
I don't know, man.
But like if you're the Jets, Stafford should be like the top target in my opinion.
100%. But like that, I don't think that's realistically going to happen. Like when is like a star quarterback traded in the middle of the season?
Dude, he's not a star though. He's not a star. He's an aging. Was always a very good player, not a star. And he's old and what is okay next year? What can the Rams get from Matt? Like Matt Stafford's not going to take the Rams to the Super Bowl. Just get what you can get for him.
I mean,
what if the Jets come knocking with a couple seconds or something? I don't know. They probably wouldn't offer that, but I don't know. Who knows? It's a shame to see because that Jets roster it's good. Garrett Wilson is a superstar.
Yeah.
Superstar. And that defense is nasty. Okay, back to where I was wrong. You can just put this one on my tombstone. I am wrong about them from 2018 to 2090, however long I live.
Say it. Say it.
I can't get the Chargers.
Say it. Do you want me to say it for you?
The Chargers. And it's like Brandon Staley, right? You're a defensive guy. You're supposed to be this defensive coach. They scored 34 and lost the game. Where do you go from here if you're the Chargers?
And you know what? When it was crunch time, you know who balled out? Tua.
The Dolphins look good.
And Herbert shriveled up again. The Dolphins are so
Herbert did not shrivel up. He scored 30.
Dude, he was horrible in the fourth quarter. He was horrible.
If you put Justin Herbert on the Dolphins, they would go 17-0.
Oh, here we go.
Because he throws it 80 fucking yards and Tyree could just run a fly route every time.
Yeah, he does. Also, I want to hit on something. This was the hot take. I sent it in our chat. Like, I couldn't wait to get this off my chest. I still exactly have not figured out how to word it, but there is not a player in the history of the NFL that is more uncoverable, harder to game plan for than Tyreek Hill. He is the most game-changing athlete the NFL has ever seen. You can't cover him ever.
I think you're making a bit of a reactionary statement because Bill Belichick said that about Randy Moss. I think Tyreek's probably the most explosive player the NFL's ever seen.
For sure.
If I had to pick, I would take Randy. Randy Moss had his speed and height. So
Randy's in the conversation. Obviously, Calvin Johnson. There's multiple people that are.
Tyreek will be, and he won't get this credit, but he should go down as the top 5 receiver of all time.
He's
like you said. You can't go. There's nothing you can do. You can't. I get Kansas City had to pay Mahomes. I get that, but I would have done everything in my power to pay Tyreek, to keep him there, to make him happy, whatever it took.
It's so hard to say this because they just won the Super Bowl without him. They just won the Super Bowl without him.
That's fair enough.
Which is ridiculous, but not.
All right.
Tyreek Hill is unbelievable.
Now I can talk about where I was right, since I was wrong. The Cowboys. Oh, the Cowboys. Oh, how about them Cowboys?
Yeah.
My God, how about them Cowboys? That defense is fucking nasty. That defense is good. The offense is fucking good. The Cowboys are fucking real. If you want to bet the Cowboys are still 12-1, you better bet them right now because they're going to be 8-1 soon. The Cowboys are for real. I was right about Jordan Love and the Packers. Oh,
yeah.
Special guest. Yeah, Jordan Love was great. He looked great. By the way, imagine being a Bears fan. Where do you go as a Bears fan?
I think you just chalk it up like the Packers defense is way better than we expected or thought.
Okay. But how can you chalk it up? They came to your field and they beat the shit out of you.
Dude, the Bears' offensive line is horrible. Fuck, man. Or maybe the Packers' defense is way better.
Maybe Justin Fields just ain't that dude. Maybe he's not.
Maybe. Week 1, I'm not ready to say that. But
it's overreaction.
Jordan Love looked good. Jordan Love, very much impressed.
I told you I love Jordan Love. He's good.
He very much impressed.
Browns looked incredible. That was another Super Bowl pick I gave out. Browns look good. What do you mean? Their defense looks great.
Yeah, it was a weather game. Playing a fucking dome.
By the same token, Bengals missing the playoffs. They ain't making it. And last thing I was right about, the Vikings taking a step back.
Yeah, they're horrible.
I don't see it. I think Justin Jefferson at some point this year, he may be like one of the dying breeds of diva receivers in the NFL. I think he's going to quit. He's going to quit playing for Kirk Cousins because Kirk Cousins stinks.
Well, hold on now. Wait a second.
Kirk Cousins
doesn't stink.
He stinks.
It's not like Jefferson had like 2 catches on 12 targets. Like, dude went for 9 and 150. Like,
he was pissed. You could tell he was pissed. He got pissed during the game. Like,
yeah. You could see him on the sideline sitting on the bench. He looked mad.
But Kirk Cousins is not dragging the team to the Super Bowl. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It'll never happen. Kirk Cousins is a 4th-round pick for a reason. He's not good. He stinks.
Okay, but we all love Brock Purdy. Kirk Cousins is exponentially better than Brock Purdy. Okay.
What did I ask the other day?
All right.
This is my barometer for quarterbacks. Is so-and-so Kirk Cousins, or is he just not good? So maybe I think Kirk Cousins is just super average.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Okay.
But I don't think he stinks. And also, because this is the guy that everybody thinks stinks, is Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, Jimmy Garoppolo is so much better than we give credit for. Now,
I gotta say you were right about that.
He's QB,
15.
19 or 20, but people don't think he should be in the fucking league. And if Jimmy Garoppolo can go to a Super Bowl, granted it was on an excellent team.
Yes.
If Cousins was on that same team, he could do that.
Mm-hmm. What are you going to say when Brock Purdy takes the 49ers to the Super Bowl?
I'm not going to believe it. It's not going to happen.
It's going to break you.
It's not going to happen. There's no way.
Okay.
There's just no way. You can't be the last pick
no
in the draft.
They were
you can't
in
be
the NFC Championship last year.
And
Brock Purdy has never lost a game that he started and finished, ever.
Yeah, he's also never thrown for over 234 yards. Like, that guy's ceiling is capped. And it is what it is. And he's a fine player.
Maybe he does. Okay. Maybe he does what they just need him to do.
Dude, let me tell you something.
They're not asking him to throw for 350 yards.
If the 49ers go to the Super Bowl with Brock Purdy, I will do something that I despise doing. I don't know what it is. We'll figure it out. There's 0% chance.
How about this? 49ers go to the Super Bowl. You shave your beard, you shave your head bald.
And I'll do it while drinking. And I'll do it while drinking milk.
Okay. Hold the record. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. So you know what? Our first pump the brakes TikTok will be that clip.
Okay.
It is at the 26-minute mark.
Steve Lunch just shaving you bald and you having a glass of milk.
We'll get Steve Lunch to do it. Surely he'll give me a discount. Surely he'll give me a discount. 26-minute mark.
Okay. Yeah. There we go.
Talk. The Niners are not going to the Super Bowl, led by Brock Purdy.
Our friend Josh Holman thinks that Brock Purdy is the greatest quarterback in the NFL.
It disgusts Brock Brady. I could slap him. It just disgusts me.
Brock Brady.
Like, do you know why? No, I'm not. Whatever. It makes me sick. Pick 5.
Oh, God.
Do you want to go back and forth, or do you want me to give my 5?
Yeah, let's go back and forth. You go back and let's go back. Maybe we switch it up this week, go back and forth. That'll fix things.
Yeah, I mean, well, you would think it can't get worse, right?
Well, for me, I mean, I can only go down 1, so really it can't. And by the way, I would like to say this real quick.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to, as a retired bettor, and it's nothing to brag about, but I bet enough money at the time to be not really almost, to be considered a professional gambler as much as I bet. And 1-4, like, just not even close.
Not even. And honestly, I don't think any of your games were close.
Texas Tech. Let me tell you how they were. You're kind of wrong about that. How easily the gambling pendulum can swing from 1-4 to 3-2. The Colts, first and goal at the 4 with 50 seconds left. It's a backdoor cover. Don't. Texas Tech gives up a fucking pick 6 and a field goal at the end of the game. Lose by 8. So,
and not to mention, not only in that Colts, but of course, their Anthony Richardson gets hurt and gets taken out of the game. So here's Gardner Minshew. Can you backdoor cover with your backup? Of course not.
Yeah. They're just letting you score. You couldn't do it.
I mean, you would think it would be so simple. And yet, here we are. All right.
Is it ever simple?
I was told it was 50-50. My first game.
So glad you told me that.
How is Green Bay plus 1.5 at Atlanta? Mm-hmm. Atlanta threw the ball, I think, 18 times last week. Now they are excellent at running the ball, probably the best rushing attack in football. Tyler Algier, Bijan Robinson were fucking awesome on Sunday. There's no way, after what I just saw Green Bay do, especially defensively, that they should be 1.5-point dogs at Atlanta. I think Atlanta stinks. I also think this is talking out of both sides of my fucking mouth. I think they're better than we think, but I also think they just stink. Like,
yeah,
I'm taking the Packers. Jordan Love is good. Christian Watson back. I love the Packers.
I think we talked about this before the year that Atlanta can win the division. I know I said it. They can't. Desmond Ritter is fucking horrible. Kyle Pitts and Drake London basically became fucking Leroy Jenkins and fucking nobody. Like, I mean, just nothing. They weren't even at the game. I don't even know if they were there.
Well, Drake London literally played 90% of the snaps.
Yeah.
0 catches.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
I mean, Desmond Ritter's terrible. He's not good. Atlanta's in a bind.
They actually
have
have a good team. They just need a quarterback. They need
they need a quarterback.
They just need Kirk Cousins.
Atlanta. If you think about the teams that ought to tank, Atlanta should be at the top of that list.
Yeah, so one of the guys that I follow is Atlanta is talented enough to where they won't suck enough that they need to. Like, they are the peak of mediocrity where they're going to win 6 games on accident, pick 8th, and just be ruined.
Atlanta's got a very New York Jetsy roster.
Yeah.
Except I think Wilson's better than Ritter. But not that that's saying much.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah.
Go for it.
My first pick, Bengals -3.5. They're going to blow the Ravens out.
Jesus.
Coming off a loss, back at home, Ravens might lose by 100 in this game. So, yeah, I'm taking the Bengals. I'm just going to rank my picks in order of confidence. So that would be my lock of the week. The Bengals. By the way, my lock of the week, Browns actually did win. It was the only one that won.
Was the only one. And you actually got the 2.5 too. I did not do mine in that order.
Well, that's fine. I was saying how it was good.
No, I understand. I'm taking the Lions -4.5 against Seattle. I know Seattle's getting Witherspoon and Jamal Adams back most likely, but they looked so bad.
Mm-hmm.
There is a chance, and it was my favorite story of the year last year. There is a chance that Geno Smith just turned back into a pumpkin, and this team might stink.
That is very true. I thought about that when I said the Seahawks would win the division, but as Lee Corso said, not so fast, my friend. I'm taking the Seahawks on the opposite side. Ooh. This is a typical week 1 to week 2 overreaction. If Seattle wins that game, they're +2.5 at Detroit. Here you go. Here's a Mark Lawrence stat for you.
Oh, God.
Pete Carroll is 8-3 against the spread as a dog with the Seahawks when facing an opponent coming off a straight-up underdog win, including 8-1 against the spread as a dog with fewer than 7 points. So that's actually a pretty good stat by Mark, because that shows that the line is overvaluing the Lions and undervaluing the Seahawks. Like I said, I don't know. I'm sure the look-ahead line was probably 2.5.
Yeah, that's fair. I've just been higher on Detroit than you.
You have. That's a fact.
You
were right. You were right week 1.
Well,
maybe I'll bet against Detroit every week, and eventually I'll win one. Surely they can't go 17-0.
You would think not. If you just keep double downing, you'll get there eventually. But of course, then yeah. The Colts +1.5 at Houston. Make it make sense. Mm-hmm. I know C.J. Stroud looked much better than I think I expected him, especially in his first game. But you know who looked even better? Anthony Richardson. Mm-hmm. And he's not on the injury report. I know it's a road game in division, but it's still fucking Houston. I'll take 1.5 and Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I don't like that at all, but I'll pass on that game. Me personally, I would take Texans on the money line, but that's neither here nor there. My next pick, and this is a hold your breath and pray, but I trust the head coach to not start 0-2. I'll take the Titans +3 at home against my beloveds. So either way, I win.
That is good strategy. That's great strategy.
My babies win, I win, and if they don't, I still win.
I'm actually taking your real babies. This line is high.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Dallas -9.5. I'm laying it. They're gonna beat the shit out of the Jets. And I think
The
it's going to
only
be like
thing-
last week. Like, I don't even think the offense is going to have to do much against that fucking great defense that the Jets have. I just think defensively, they're probably going to score another touchdown, maybe 2 like they did last week.
The only thing that worries me is the Jets' defense is for fucking real. Quinnen Williams
It is.
an absolute monster. Sauce Gardner shuts down a whole side of the field. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm laying
out
it.
on that one. I'm out on that one. So it's my turn?
Yeah.
Who have I got so far? I didn't write these down. I know I got
Bengals minus
Seattle.
3.5.
Yeah, Seattle
And Tennessee.
This one's going to hurt some hearts, and I'm sorry to do it, but I'm taking the Panthers against the Saints on Monday Night Football, and keep your fucking points. I think the Panthers win the game outright, so give me the money line. I ought to get like extra if the money line hits, you know. But yeah, I think the Panthers win that game.
You need everything you can get at this point.
Yeah, give me the 3. Give me the 3.
Right,
yeah, I think the Panthers. I think the Panthers win. I was not impressed by what I saw from the Saints in Week 1 at all.
Really?
No. They're no fucking bad. It's just unovercomable. I don't even know that's a word. Like
you froze for a second. Will you say that again?
Yeah, I don't think the coaching offense can be overcome. I just think it's that bad.
It's definitely going to hold them back in the long run, but my 5th pick was actually I like the Saints minus the 3.
Okay. I hope you're right. I certainly hope you're right. I mean, I love to watch the Saints win,
I think Derek Carr looked great. I think the defense looked good.
I think him looking great is a bit of an overstatement, by the way. He looked good. He didn't look great.
Well, given
the Saints had a horrible first half, by the way. I don't know if you watched, but it was horrible.
Given how the rest of the league looked in comparison, Carr was one of the better And all right, I want to before you get you know what? Give me your last pick, and then I'll give this little rant.
Okay. My last pick, I'm going to take just because, and I meant to touch on this earlier, but I forgot. I'm going to take the Raiders plus 9. It may be 8.5 now, but whatever it is. I'm taking the Raiders against the Bills. Let me ask you this, and I meant to ask you this earlier, and I was all in on the Bills preseason. You know that.
Yep.
Can Josh Allen win a Super Bowl? As much as he turns the ball over?
He's led the league in turnovers since 2018, which we don't talk about enough. Is he the most overrated player in the NFL? Now, that doesn't mean he's not. I'm not saying he's bad.
That's right.
But this whole
think
Allen and Mahomes, like
I meant to ask you that earlier and I forgot. But let me read this to you, okay? Last 10 regular season games, Josh Allen is completing 62% of his passes.
Wow.
For 2,321 yards. He's got 17 touchdowns and 11 interceptions and an 85 passer rating. Mac Jones is completing 65% of his passes for 2,320, so one less yard, 14 TDs, and 5 interceptions, so 6 less turnovers. And that's not including the Allen fumbles, and a 90-point passer rating. Is Josh Allen overrated?
Yeah, the only player in the NFL that's more overrated than Josh Allen is Damar Hamlin.
I knew you were going to say that. He stopped me. Dude,
Can you win comeback player of the year if you're inactive every game?
If he plays
that's a fair question.
They're just going to give it to him. They're going to just name it the Damar Hamlin Comeback Player of the Year Award.
Jesus fucking Christ. Josh Allen is extremely overrated. That doesn't mean
look, I'm watching that, and I meant to ask you this earlier. I'm watching that game Monday, and I am watching him fumble and force. You're up 13-3 and you're playing Zach Wilson. Why are you throwing over the top in a double coverage?
He's horrible.
Let your defense just win the game.
He was horrible.
What are you
he was
doing?
horrible on Monday.
You know who he reminds me of? You're going to hate this. And
Jameis
I think
Winston?
if you thought about it, no, close. Another quarterback that you fucking love that does the same thing that he does.
Don't even. Don't even. No,
he is a more talented version of Carson Wentz.
Oh, no.
There's not a throw on this field I can't make. Instead of let me just flick it out of here, let me force it. He's all over. Like,
he does have a lot of Carson Wentz in him. He does.
He's got a lot of Carson Wentz in him.
That's fair.
100%. So I just don't see how that guy can take you to the Super Bowl. I really don't. You can't turn the ball over that many times in the NFL. And he has proven consistently that this is not going to change. This is who he is, right? He's going to turn the ball over 2-3 times a game. He's going to have games where he looks like, God bless, there's some things that this guy would not even be able to do on the field. He's doing them.
Yeah.
But he's going to have that game like against the Jets where, Kirk Cousins, by the way. Kirk Cousins would have won that game for the Bills.
Oh, my God.
Brock Purdy, go out there, manage the game, don't turn the ball over, let the defense win, let's score 20 points.
Hot take. Would the Buffalo Bills be better or worse with Brock Purdy?
That's a good question. That's a fair question.
It really
is. Turning over 3-4 times a game, that's a fair question.
Huh.
It's a fair question. Because their defense is good.
Well, yeah, the whole team is loaded. They're very good.
That's
they're
what I'm
almost
saying,
they're almost the Niners of the AFC minus Christian McCaffrey.
So it's a double-edged sword, right? Can Josh Allen go win me a game? Yeah, absolutely. But he can fucking lose me a game as well.
Yeah, and we just saw it.
Whereas I don't think the 49ers are ever going to lose because of Brock Purdy. Like, it will never be because Brock Purdy threw 3 interceptions. So I don't know. Josh Allen to me, and by the way, I have said this before, I think he's extremely overrated.
Yeah.
If you search Blake Hammerine, Josh Allen overrated on Twitter, it will come up from like 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's fair. I want to touch on the Derek Carr thing, on how I was impressed with him compared to the rest of them. We have to get these guys to play more preseason games. Like, week 1 was ugly across the board from basically everybody. Like, the product sucked on Sunday. It was horrible. Yeah, these guys need the reps in games. I mean, I know Burrow was hurt, so he wouldn't have played anyway. But like, all these quarterbacks really looked like shit. They don't fucking play in the preseason, and that is a big deal. They need these reps. I think eliminating that 4th or whatever number you want to call that preseason game, that hurt the week 1 product. It was bad.
Yeah, it was definitely a rough offensive week. I got mixed feelings about the preseason. On one hand, I don't know.
Listen, hate to see a guy go out there and get hurt. I don't care about watching it, but these guys need it. Like, there's a reason that.
What if you did like flag football week in the preseason, or you made it just like a glorified, we're just touching each other scrimmage, so the quarterback and the receiver could get their timing down. We could work on our snap counts. We're not out here trying to hurt each other. Basically, what I'm getting at. Because let me I'll put it to you like this: if guy 74 on the roster from one team gets the chance to go against guy 1 from roster on the other team, guy 1 ain't going all out. Guy 74 is laying it all on the fucking line, and that's a problem, right? Guy 1's got a pretty good chance of getting fucking hurt because he's half-assing it, while guy 74 is fucking giving everything he's got. So maybe you do like a preseason game where you say it's all started for a half, no matter what, whatever it is. But no, I agree with you. The offensive product it stunk.
It was bad. And maybe it's just a coincidence, and maybe it has nothing to do with the preseason. I don't know. Yeah. That's just the pieces I'm putting together. And maybe even 3 games is enough if they just played the guys.
Well, I just maybe the starters, like I said, just get one half of the last game. Let the backups and let the third strings duke it out for roster spots and go all out and fucking beat each other up. Like, yeah, like I mean, I get it. I don't want fucking Joe Burrow out there against, like I said, fifth string DN who's trying to make a name for himself and is also going to lay his ass out and hurt him or anything like that. So, like, I get it, but yeah, it's
of course. But then I also don't want Joe Burrow to throw for 82 yards in game 1.
Yeah, but the Bengals started 0-2 last year, so like, does it really matter?
I don't care if they win or lose. I'm just saying the product as a fan to watch. I don't want to watch that. That's bad.
It wasn't great. I agree. Shout out Joel.
Joel, about to get on the Golden Team machine.
It wasn't a great week of offensive football. By the way, at one point, like 45 minutes into the day, there was like 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Oh, it
across
sucked.
the league.
So I was at my buddy's house, Justin, shout out.
Yep.
He's got 3 TVs, little man cave.
Okay.
And I'm like, dude, will you put on a baseball game? Because this sucks.
No. We watch the games no matter what.
Every single one?
We wait. I mean, to wait all year on this. We watch the games. I would watch Eastern Michigan play the University of Kenya in a fucking hailstorm if I had to. Like, I'm watching the games,
man.
I'm watching the games.
All right. I'm good. I do want to say one thing.
Okay.
I don't know what the fuck is going on with DraftKings. I cannot figure this out. I'm waiting on an email.
I think what probably happened, I was going to text you this earlier, but you were in Florida for so long. When you start hopping state lines and logging on or keeping it running even in the background of your phone, and they're tracking you like that, they're going to flag your account. If I had to guess, that's all it is.
I'm flagged for sure. So I cannot create a contest. I can't enter anything. Okay. I can't do anything.
Okay.
If you want the reins and you want to make this contest for the week and send the link out, that would be cool. If not, it might be up until Sunday until I can do it. I'm just waiting to hear back from whoever.
Did you reach out to them?
I did. I emailed.
Did you truly reach out to them?
I emailed from 2 different things. So they'll get back. It was around like at 1:30. So I'm sure they will because they know they're going to make money off of an idiot like me.
Well, actually, if you do a private contest, they will make $0. So.
Well,
there's no rake on a private contest.
Right, but if I do a private contest, then I'll probably just I may as well do one other thing too, and that's how it fucking works.
Never know. If you line up hits, you may want it in the
Yeah. If I win the first contest, I'd be like, oh, maybe I'll enter a couple millies.
Well, I'm saying like if you put it in the private contest, you got to throw a lotto into the millie because if you have the nuts, you have the nuts. So like,
exactly, that's what I'm saying.
So you want to go score 300 points in a private contest and like. Fuck! I could have won the million.
Yeah, win $50. All right.
I have to pay another room.
Go
what
Birds.
Are you doing for the game?
Well, hopefully my car will be here. That was the plan, but I thought the Jeep was going to be. It's at that. He gets home in like 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll see you on.
He's invited people to Norwood, so I don't know. Hopefully the Jeep will be done soon, and I will be at South Plains to play Golden Tee and whip someone's ass. Go Birds. Okay. We will be live on Sunday. We will set that up. Don't forget, subscribe, rate, review, and we will see you Sunday.